Butt chucking corpse paste. What?
You know,
And Carl with the continuity.
bringing it right back around.
Hang on, Brad. What is that? Hey, Mordecai, have you ever heard of this website called PrimetimeMagic.com?
What the fuck?
Who said that?
In the grim darkness of the far future.
Unprepared to respond to this.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, and apparently PrimetimeMagic.com. And tonight, there is only Warhammer. Welcome to Children of Rokarth, the second season of the Tainted Hive, our playthrough of Warhammer 40,000, Imperium Maledictum by Cubicle 7. I'm your GM, Brad, joined by Mike, Alex, Justin, Carl, our newest member. Welcome as of last episode. And more so than that, we are joined tonight by the wonderful gentlemen over at PrimetimeMagic.com who make this entire season possible by being our show sponsor.
God Emperor, is that you?
No, that's Primetime Magic.
The God Emperor is Primetime Magic. Magic singles for sale. Head on over to their website. They're supporting us. Go show them some love. They've got all kinds of collectible card game singles, Magic, others. I don't know enough about all the different card games they have, but just do me a favor.
You're going to learn.
Do me a favor and don't make me buy all the cards because Alex will. His mortgage is at risk. My mortgage is at risk. You too can save a 35-year-old white male from mortgage failure.
I'm 34 still, I think.
Ah, damn it.
They're fine.
Yeah, 34 still.
This is just turning into a whole bit about us being in financial distress.
Hey, Brad.
My finances in my relationship with my wife are fine. But
For now. You still have to be, you're still 34. Wait until you're 35.
This is just going to become a bit.
Hey, Brad.
Midlife crisis incoming.
In Eric's honor, did we get any XP last session?
No, you didn't, because Eric's not here.
God damn it. Hear that, Eric? He's still depriving us.
However, at this point, you will have regenerated any spent fate you have used.
That doesn't help me at all.
No.
You know?
Can I at least take a nap on one of these benches while these bitches are bickering?
No, you can't. But speaking of all the bickering, last time on the Tainted Hive, y'all had landed on Rokarth. You found yourselves being escorted by members of the Adeptus Orbites up to... Oh, Mordecai's just gone. No XP, he's gone. Leaving us.
I'm here.
You find yourself being escorted to a lift to go up to the Precinct Fortress Major. I broke myself.
Trying to have some snacks, damn it, and I didn't want to have my mouth full on camera. Let's go.
Go into the Precinct Fortress Majoris. As you did so, you saw Petronella Vivar leading 24 other Vigilites down into the bowels to deal with Mordecai heard some rumored spoiled or tainted tardigrade meat, which is an animal carcass that is used for meat in the hive, as well as some other issues of what sounds like some kind of insurrection or riot. You got onto the lift along with a member of the Adeptus Sororitas, or the Sisters of Battle, who you would later find out was Sister Elle Maladut, also known as Elle Loves Tea. You also were met at the time by 3 members of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, specifically Black Ship Troopers, one of them being Hector Kraus, also known as Deathbringer, Hey Lightning, and the Arbitrator himself. You made your way up to the fortress, and you found a labyrinth of steel and stone meant to not only deter people from invading the upper hive from the lower, meant as a form of class segregation, wealth segregation, and also meant to be a very menial, tedious way for all goods that are passing between the hive levels to be checked and investigated. You have not yet passed it, but it's safe to surmise that there are probably stations where tolls, fees, and bribes have to be paid. As you made your way through this space, you recognize that it could take, if the space were to be fully packed, days to get from one hive level to the next if you are not on a fast track. However, you were on a fast track. And you did not make your way to the upper hive, but instead made your way down a hidden pathway set into a wall of a round resting space halfway through the actual level. And as you passed row after row of guards, servitors, and security, you found yourselves inside the actual fortress within a fortress, the Obsidian Lock, the prison of the Precinct Fortress Majoris. You were taken deep into this prison, into an area where the opulence and cells for those of wealth were gone, replaced by cells of borderline criminal space, small spaces with individuals chained to the ground, and you met your newest member of this group, Osiris. Safe to assume at this point that he is the psyker that Halikarn has sent you to release, without invoking his name. And as you saw, you watched as the Adeptus Arbites, the Ecclesiarchy, or the Adeptus Sororitas, and the Adeptus Astra Telepathica through the Black Ship troops argued over the fate of this one psyker. So as we pick up today, the power play has strung out. My voice does not want to speak for 45 minutes again. And now we need to decide, how would you four like to make yourselves free? But more so than that, keep in mind that there are still 2 guards of the Arbites, one who has gone to retrieve more tea for Elle. There's still a blank in the room, and there are 3 Black Ship troopers.
The Black Ship Trooper.
Yes.
Deathbringer?
Yep.
What is his other name?
Trooper Kraus, Kraus. His full name is Hector Kraus, but you only know Kraus.
I'm just, if it's okay, unless anybody has immediate action, I just probably have something to say, I guess.
Do you think Penumbra?
Okay, well, it's not very Penumbra-y. But
That's okay.
So I'm just going to turn to Elle, and you seem to have dedicated your life to bringing glory to the God Emperor. I wish nothing more with my life than to pursue that also. If there is any way that we can... Hold on. I wish nothing more than to dedicate my life to bringing his light to the masses. There is no way for us to do that with this petty bickering and in-house fighting or rotting away in this dungeon. I choose to give my allegiance to you, to Elle, in your pursuit.
Okay. Gain, Mordecai, 1 temporary influence with the Adeptus Sororitas. Specifically, the
hot.
Sisters Hospitalier. Or Hospitalier. And that
Say
is the
all of those words one more time.
You gain +1 temporary influence with the, I'll put it, it's the Adeptus Sororitas. And the specific Rokarth chapter, which is the Sisters Hospitalier.
It's like that one scene in Monty Python.
I'm actually,
Oh my God.
I'm getting I feel more like the Sorority Girls movie. That's probably the direction I'm going.
Oh no. There will be no reference to the rest of that nunnery from Monty Python.
Oh, you mean the one at Castle Anthrax?
There we are.
There are no spankings.
Hey, Brad. So you mentioned off on the side, kind of like I was supposed to know what you were talking about, but I didn't, that we would know what it would mean if he got sent to Draven. And then Kraus said something like he was going to be waiting there for Osiris. What would the Black Ships be doing at Draven's place to Osiris? Like, I wasn't really following that dynamic. I got that they're tangled up a little bit, and that the Black Ships are for some reason bending to this Draven dude's will to a certain extent. But
So I'm not going to make you roll for this, just because these are things you would know as a citizen of the Imperium. The Black Ships collect the tithe of psychers who are fed to the God Emperor per day. It takes thousands of souls every day to keep the God Emperor alive and the Golden Throne running. The Golden Throne is also what runs the beacon that allows ships to travel through the warp. It allows for, it's called the Astronomicon. It allows for all warp travel by the Imperium. So the God Emperor needs to continue to live, both to allow the Imperium to move through the warp, but also because his radiance alone helps keep chaos at bay. That's number one. The comment you're referencing was Elle saying to Fel's Gans, you know what Draven will do to him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know as a player enough of the dynamic of Osiris to Elias Draven, Alistair's son, to understand exactly what she means by that, but it's safe to assume that Alistair does not have the best of Osiris's life in intentions. And if Kraus, the Black Ship Trooper, made the reference he did at the end, that they already had a deal with Draven and they would be waiting, it's safe to assume that whatever Draven is going to do, he's going to leave Osiris alive enough to give him over to the Black Ships to go feed the God Emperor.
Got it.
None of which sounds good.
Okay.
It seems petty and unneeded. We're here to serve the Emperor.
Agreed.
Well, the Imperium is nothing but a wealth of corruption, so...
So through all this bickering, I was gonna pause for a second and just let it hang there to see how long it would take one of us to respond, but whatever, it's fine. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's gonna come to pass that she's the most corrupt, but you know what? It's fine.
Could be.
She seems like the most direct route out of here without Osiris getting killed. So,
agreed.
She's also not accusing us of crimes we didn't do.
And she's also not against Petronella, which is a big plus for me. But anyway.
right. Oh, that's your boo thing?
It's my boo thing. She's uncorruptible. I'm there for it.
Petronella is Justin's Lady is Old.
I need a foundation stone.
Mosquitoes can't get anywhere near her either.
That's right.
So, Mordecai, as you kind of say what you say to Elle about wanting to devote your life and giving yourself to
Whoa!
devote your life to the God Emperor.
Yes, to the God Emperor. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say to her and her cause. No, I said I would. Well, I would pledge allegiance, but
I pledge allegiance to the Adeptus Sororitas.
Bro, you started talking to the ecclesiarchy. They're not letting you go now.
Nope.
oh,
They got their hooks in you like the Jehovah's
You didn't
Witnesses.
slam your door and shut your shade, man.
so
She's here for it.
You also, as a lickspittle, she is a higher rank than you, so with that comment, you will gain an advantage on all of your tests with her.
sick.
She looks to you, and she grins slightly and nods, and as she does, the second Arbides has re-arrived with another cup of tea, and she begins to sip, and she goes, Good. Fellas, why don't we all sit down? Just as friends. Let's put these things behind us. Let's find a path forward. You see his fellas kind of nods and he goes, take the prisoners. Take all of them. Lock them back in Osiris' cell for now. We will discuss.
Hard pass. And while they've been talking, could I have used my deal maker talent to try and figure out what these dudes would accept as a bribe?
Please do.
Good lord.
Heart pass.
Or
So
not,
brazen.
But, that 97 doesn't actually look like a 97 to me, so I'm going to use prescience. That's better.
Roderick, you can't.
Oh,
Too close to the blank.
There's a blank in the room.
Well, that's a 97 then.
It's a 97.
I was looking forward to you purging all over this room.
Just purgating everywhere. So with prescience, is that something you do in advance and you just get to pull on it later? Hang on.
Yeah, that's what it is. Correct. So I do it during...
How many prescience points do you still have from your original test?
This is my last one.
Then you can do this because you're just using... So the way the skill reads is that you consult the warp to gain insights into possible futures. During a rest, you then use the trance to examine the futures, and at the end of it, you gain prescience points from your manifest test. After you make a test, you can spend a point to re-roll the dice. So you're not actually pulling on the warp.
No, I'm not manifesting it at all. I'm
Then
just
you may do
using what I saw during my prescience to do it. Okay.
Then you may do that, yes.
So going back to my deal maker, it's intuition people. So that is a +2 on my intuition people.
Okay. You had tried to sort of canvass the room and maybe made the inaccurate choice to talk to the blank first after one of the arbitrators basically after one of the Arbides told you to fuck off. However, you speak to a few others and you end up actually sidling up next to a couple of the Black Ship troopers.
Okay.
They seem to not care about this whole situation. They, quite frankly, have made it very clear they don't care what the hell happens to you. They're getting Osiris at the end of this no matter what. And they're okay with it. So as you kind of huddle up you find that when it comes to the Black Ship Troopers, what they want and what they need at this point is they need a psyker, because they've been sent here to get a psyker. Osiris is who they're sent here for, but they're okay going back with any psyker. They just have to take a psyker to fill the slot that Osiris is allocated for.
Hell yeah. I love that. I'm going to kind of walk over. I'm assuming Elle and Fells are still talking, and Fells is trying to get us sent back to a prison cell.
Yes, he is, and she is arguing vehemently against it right now.
And I was like, it occurs to me after talking to you lads. How many psychers would you say are in this here cell block?
Not many. Most of the psychers we find, we send to the Null Oblite, the Telepathica to keep it. He's one of the few we've kept, and it's specifically due to where he came from. But roll me a charm test. So roll me rapport charm, or if there's a different applicable skill you want to use that instead.
Nope, that one works just fine for me.
Okay,
that'll be an 18 under 45.
Oh, wow. So that's 3 success levels, and he's going to oppose you with his...
Very charming, sir.
Yes. So you had 3 success levels, and he's going to oppose your charm with his discipline, and he is going to pass with 1 success level. I'm sorry, 2 success levels. So your 3 beats his 2, and you see as he goes, not many. We only keep the psychers here before we send them to the Null Oblite if they're from the Upper Hive, and normally only then under the coercion of their family or lords to hold them for a brief moment. At this moment, maybe 2 of us, maybe.
Lovely. 2 is plenty, isn't it? Now, I don't think anybody wants to be in this weird crossroad situation. I certainly do not. Seems to me the Black Ships could take any of those psychers off your hands. It only seems to me that Osiris here is in contention.
I kind of give a side glance to Elle, going, here's your opening. Try and make it work.
You watch as Elle smirks at this and goes, but she gives you a look back, almost as if to say, not yet. You've created an opening, and Roderick, you are the master of words and socials to see that the door is not yet good enough for her. If she you would read this as if she barges in, you're on the cusp of a balance of it's going to go one way or another, and she's not. If she barges through, it's not going to go the way you're hoping.
Okay, fair enough. I look at Fells really quick, but then I also turn my attention to Kraus, and I'm like,
look, not trying to make your lot's job any harder than it has to be. Seems like you've got other tithes to collect, if I'm not mistaken. This one's taken longer than you probably expected. I think we can move things along quite a bit faster for you, don't you think, Fells?
Fells pauses, looks over, and you see as Deathbringer goes, he's not wrong. Look, I'm just here for a psyker. And, well, Lord Draven may have guaranteed him to the Telepathica. My entire role is just to bring a psycho. Imagine their happiness if I were to bring 2.
Now there's an idea. That is using the old noggin.
Fells looks from you, Roderick, looks to Deathbringer, and you see as it almost elated grin lights on his face, and he says, that is a wonderful idea. Imagine if you took 3.
Did he pass whatever test he was doing just then, Brad? That you didn't tell me he was about to take a test on?
There's a test that I didn't tell you he was about to take. What would you like to do?
Everyone's been bickering and wheedling and all that. Dimitri's just going to stand up and slam his fists on the table. I want my bum.
I want my bomb.
And louder now. I want my bum.
Distracting talent.
Yep.
All right, let me reroll that. Oh, shit.
When we had a multi-bomb.
So you start saying I want my bomb as Fellows talks about 3 psychers, and he pauses. He goes, what bomb? And he looks to one of the Arbites, and he goes, did we get a bomb off him?
Several.
I'm going to turn to Elle. You want our help? I want my bum.
Well, you heard him. He wants his bomb. And then they will help us, won't you? Fellas, let's get this dirty business over with. How much did Draven pay you? And fellas, again, RoboCop face, because he's an Arbites. He's got the old... to paint the picture here, for anyone who hasn't seen Judge Dredd, Google it. That is what an Arbites helmet looks like, because Games Workshop used to make Judge Dredd miniatures back in the 80s. But face down, skin begins to turn pink with embarrassment, frustration, anger. You can't tell. And he goes, I never... Yes, fine. You've been paid, or maybe you haven't. They get their psyker. I get these for everyone wins. And I can promise you, you all see as she's pointing at Osiris. Osiris, you don't see anything still. If he crosses that line, I've got a bolt round ready for him. Won't be the first psyker I've killed, won't be the last.
We are also a net positive to the Arbites. Again, any one of your colleagues could confirm this for you. But we are not beneficial to you here, of course.
How did you end with the ident of the ship that had fled a firefight roughly 33 days ago?
Well, you don't believe that we own a transportation ship, do you? It's by pure chance that we were on one that maybe you flagged.
Yes, you don't own a transportation shuttle, which means you've been going back and forth to someone hanging over orbit. Who and why?
T.
T. This is off. Cameras are shuttered. Game is held. What's up?
Don't do it. He said not to do it.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
I think in real life, our real life time translates to game time somewhere around 2 minutes per second. So,
Did you have a question or something you were going to ask? Or?
I don't know. I have no
just
idea
stalling?
what to say to him.
he needs a brain.
I was joking when I said T, but
okay.
Continuing on. Fells is very adamantly asking where you came from, why you have a ship with that ident.
and I have no answer.
Well, I think that you would perhaps accept the answer of it's not ours and it's really not our business to be telling you whose it is.
Add a bitch, and I think you got it.
If you cannot accept that answer, God Emperor help you.
He crosses his fingers, looks at each of you.
Because I'm Roderick Wrangler, mate.
He's fine.
Let that one slide, is he? Okay,
Fine.
He is good. Thank God.
Motions to one of the Arbites. Take the black ship troops. Give them the 2 psychers. Same fee as always, yes? You see his Deathbringer just goes, pulls a bag from his hip, drops it on the table, clinks with the sound of solars, walks out. Fells pockets it. Looks at Elle. These 3, 4 if you include Osiris, are wanted on crimes of violence and death. That does carry a significant weight. Significant fee, if you would. But perhaps there's something they could do to recompense myself. The fine for murder is death. He's looking at Osiris as he says, as he goes, however, death of a noble in self-defense carries with it a 10-year term, in addition to 1,000 solar fine. We will count time served. He looks at Elle, assuming the Sisterhood is willing to donate.
If I may, sir, we've spoken of penalties, of course, but what is the reward of purging this world of another heretic?
The reward of purging of a heretic is the grace of the God Emperor himself. We do not do that for financial gain.
Sure, but should an act of that sort cause you to have a financial loss?
I'm listening.
Well, you're talking about penalizing him. He rid the world of a heretic. He shouldn't have to pay a fine for this. That's my opinion, of course. You continue on.
You accuse a lord of heresy.
Pardon?
You accuse a lord of heresy.
I am only going on what I heard here. He said that he killed him because he was a heretic. That is what I heard.
Yes?
Have you any words for yourself?
I feel there's enough verbal flatulence going on this evening. No. I killed a heretic, the Duke. I would do it again in a heartbeat. In front of his family, if need be.
Aggressive.
I'd kill him slow.
And if you want my opinion, the fact that Lord Draven is searching so hard for me means that he knows what his son was up to. But that is merely speculation.
But a good speculation, am I right?
But then it could just be the father wants revenge for the murder of his son.
No, that couldn't be it at all.
Either way, for me, it is business as usual. And I at least have some fucking pants.
Fells looks at you as if realizing you don't have pants and goes, did we really take his pants? The RBD behind him goes, you said to take his material goods. At least he's not naked. Go get him his pants. In fact, gather his belongings and bring them here. And he looks to Elle and he goes, you will owe us for this one. This two-way street we've had for years doesn't seem to be very two-way these days with the Sisterhood. You throw your weight as if it carries more than mine. Not quite a fan of that. But Lord Draven may need a visit from the Arbides. I'll keep an eye on this one. I'll keep an eye on all of you. Oh, and sister, consider our fine quadrupled for the next 2 years for the pain in my ass that you have been. Elle kind of nods and goes, I live to serve the God Emperor. May the Arbides forever keep the Lex Imperialis close. I will take these 4, and with the grace of the Church, the Sisterhood will recompense you. And these 4 will recompense me. Fells nods and goes, how about this? We waive the fine. But you 4, you go deal with this shit that Petronilla is dealing with. You say you're good friends with her, that you know her. Go find out why my nobles are being corrupted and polluted with filthy meat. Or don't.
Can you take these off first? Perhaps? Maybe?
Fine. Snaps his fingers and the RBDs begin to take the locks off. The blank at this point leaves the room. Osiris. Feel
God.
your connection resume. Would you like to channel so you can actually see?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of a breath, and I'm gonna. It doesn't really look like anything to anybody else, but I am able to see. Like, it's almost like, for me, it's like a black on black. It's hard to describe, but
It's like a relief.
it's almost like
drawing, kind
it's
of?
almost like a bas relief. That's how I see.
Yeah, okay.
So make your psychic test for that sustained power so we can see.
All right, now.
You haven't had a touch of the warp, so I'm really hoping you succeed so you actually get vision back.
So let's see.
Or fail miserably and swallow this stupid fortress into the Imperium.
That would be dumb.
So it says it's a routine difficulty, so it's a plus 20.
Routine is plus 20. Yep. Nice and
All
easy.
right. And this is going off of
You're going to use
Mine.
your psychic mastery skill.
psychic mastery.
Mm-hmm.
So that is you said it was a plus 20, so a 48 under 70.
Beautiful. So you have plus 3. So with your power, and you're using the preternatural senses, right? The
Yeah,
demon's eyes?
my Damon's eyes.
Okay, so with the preternatural senses, with a plus 3, you should be good to go. That's which world is that? Which pole of is it telekinesis?
This
Or
is
is it?
telekinesis. No.
No, that's just basic. That's a basic one.
Yeah, it's
So with plus 3,
it's a cantrip.
Yep, it's the equivalent of a cantrip. All right, so the way we've discussed Osiris's character, because he has no eyes, as long as he is sustaining his preternatural senses, he sees in that bas relief form. Also, you have augmented your biology, aka the fact that you don't have eyes. So you will ignore penalties from zones with poorly lit or dark environmental traits, and your vision comes through that bas relief of the heat signatures of living creatures up to medium range away.
And that's through solid walls as well.
It is through solid walls. Yep.
Right.
So you don't necessarily
Whoa.
see as far as other people, but you do have that bas relief beyond.
And I also have advantage on perception
Yes.
tests.
Osiris, your materials are brought in. All of your equipment and goods are dropped off.
First thing I'm putting back on is my blindfold. He wears a shitty black blindfold that he puts on, and is
So
just
now that
looking
you-
over at the party. He's like, the eye sockets tend to unnerve.
They took your fucking blindfold.
I look at the RBDs.
That's fucking cold, mate.
He just shrugs. Osiris, now that you're garbed, would you like to describe what you look like with clothes?
Yeah, so he still looks like a mess. But he's wearing an armored body glove, so it's like this black skin tight suit that has, plating here and there, miscellaneous in spots where it seems applicable. He's also wearing this like golden collar that goes over down his shoulders and partially up his neck. Very kind of like Egyptian style meets Green Power Ranger. And that's his psi focus. And then yeah, he has a white shawl that he wears wrapped around and has it up like a hood. That's pretty much it.
Beautiful.
No codpiece?
No codpiece.
No pantaloons?
Well, he's wearing the body. Emphasis on body.
And he said there were metal plates where they made sense. So it could be
A codpiece.
codpiece.
I don't know
If it
why
were
it
to
wouldn't.
make sense.
If I
It
have
doesn't.
one part of my body to protect, that's high on the list.
I mean, like, knees are important.
I mean, we're about to go investigate the meat situation of Bells here.
More tainted meat.
Oh, and you also see him pack away just your basic hunting knife and I believe it's pronounced Lay's pistol.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the correct side
You guys are now outnumbered. 3-2.
It makes so much sense.
And
shoots
suddenly
lasers,
a rift of
after
the
all.
warp opens above and a Tyranid hive fleet appears in the sky, right?
I've never heard of a gun shooting a
It's fair.
laser, Brad.
I'm just going to say this one time and one time only. You can never be, you can be. You are very right and also extremely wrong simultaneously. So,
More right than wrong.
I
Moving
blacked
on.
out after you said that I was very right.
sure you did. Sure you did. On that note, Osiris, you've regained your materials. Y'all have managed to free Osiris. And you see as...
Does that mean I finish my short-term ambition and therefore get experience?
Same.
What was your short-term ambition? I know you
Release the prisoner as soon as we got the...
at the end of this episode.
My
Yep.
short-term goal is to leave prison.
yeah.
Does that count?
You will
Wait.
both complete your ambition at the end of this.
My short-term goal was to get from the ship to Rokarth.
Yeah, okay, sure it was. Sure it was. Osiris was allowed to have a short-term ambition that is so on the nose for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only.
That's
Number
fine.
one, as a character, if you're in prison, yeah, your goal is probably to get out of prison. And number 2, it's just a little 50 XP injection for
I
you.
sent you my short-term ambition.
He is like
I
starting out
started
as
it
a
down.
base character, right? Like that's... Yeah,
He's
he's got some
gotten
catching up to do.
zero
The
experience.
thirst is real.
The thirst is very real. So,
Especially in this, XP desert we're living in.
Are we just standing here in our undies too, or did we get
No.
our shit back?
your equipment is brought back. You were fully clothed, at least, but your
Didn't
weapons
take
are
my
returned.
fucking clothes. I don't know about
Cue
you.
the
Did you strip
20-minute
down?
montage of me putting all my shit back.
Like in the
there.
other guys, why do they keep taking our shoes?
Y'all are all given your weapons and equipment back. During that time, you see as Elle and Fells continue to speak in low terms, mostly about criminals, mostly about the fee, and you see as Elle reaches in, grabs a small pouch, drops it on the table of solars. She looks at the 4 of you and she says, "The Sisterhood has paid your fee. Consider it an investment, because we believe that you 4 have done some good, and mostly Osiris has done some good. We recognize that whatever this biochemical is, it is not good for the health of the populace. I'm not sure what you know, if anything, of the Sisters Hospitalier, but we are here specifically to try to keep this hive free of taint, and more so, to keep them alive and happy. The lead sister, Celestia, she is determined to find a cure for this affliction of Gratis. Should you find some in your ventures, as Osiris so neatly did, we would love a sample, so we can try to determine how to cure those who are afflicted."
A sample of what now? I'm gonna pretend I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
She grins. Okay. She pats the pouch of solars that she left for you and says, "Well, let's go." And she steps out the door. Her armor, her ceramite boots, clanking on the floors. Mordecai.
Not game related. I turned the page in my notebook to continue making notes, and it just says Skibbity Rizzler across the top here. So evidently, my daughter has gotten a hold of my book.
Skibbity Rizzler.
Skibbity Riz.
Your daughter is leaving you notes in advance of the session, I see.
I guess something real lit's about to happen here.
She walks down the hall. The Sister Elle does. And you all leave the Rokarth's Eye of Terror, which is the little pit you've been in. You begin to leave the actual prison here within the Precinct Fortress Majoris, that what they call the Obsidian Lock. As you walk out, you see as 2 individuals are being dragged with collars around their necks, digits lit up by the members of the Black Ship. And they're being jabbed in the back. One of them begins to look towards them, and you see as the lights on the collar glow from yellow to green to blue and going red. And by the time they go red, a butt of a rifle has already struck him in the head. He's no more than a teen. He's no more than a teen. You see,
they'll serve far better in that mode than they would running free.
See as Deathbringer just spits, looks to y'all, nods, looks at you specifically, Osiris, and goes, "Hope I never get called on you again," and lifts the individual he just knocked out over his shoulder, and they begin to walk out again.
Make good use of my siblings.
He looks over his shoulder, he goes, "Yeah, well, that's not my choice now, is it?" Elle takes you all out of the obsidian lock, and takes you back to the labyrinth, that huge space that goes spire to spire. And where you had come from the right, she takes you left, her boots ringing on the ground. And as she marches through this pace, passing people, you see as she occasionally mutters a prayer to those she sees. You see individuals who appear to be pilgrims, and she passes them each a small symbol of the Emperor that comes out of a pouch on her hip. A lot of statements of pray and do your duty. And as you reach the lift itself, two other sisters are waiting. Their black armor, very adorned with the white fleur-de-lis. But in addition, on the left breast, they both have a red fleur-de-lis, almost as if some kind of a marker that you don't recognize. Their hair is not white. They each have dark hair. One is a dark reddish auburn, the other a dark black. Power packs, bolters, swords. They immediately salute Sister Elle, and they just fall in. They don't say a word. They just fall in with you all. And you continue to walk through this labyrinth, left, right, down, past guard point, check station. You see as people are paying 2 solar tithes to get past the guards, and you just walk. One of them goes to raise a hand, and one of the other guards slaps his hand down and says, "No." You are escorted to the lift. The sisters look, nod. The lift is opened. The individuals who are about to step on are pushed back and told no. They have to wait. 7 of you, 3 sisters and the 4 of you, step onto the lift, and it begins to rise. Elle looks to you all and says, "We'll have a shuttle take you from our levels to head down towards where this tardigrade issue shall be. That is probably a good use. Sister Celestia wishes for that issue to be resolved as well, so you are serving the Ecclesiarch even as you serve Fells and his needs. But there's one thing I would ask," and she looks to you, Osiris, as she says this. "Our sister believes she can cure anything, and she's very interested in you. When you're done, consider swinging by so she can take a look."
Curing me of what, precisely?
I'm not sure, to be honest. She just said, "Bring me the Psyker," and while we are supposed to bring you to her, I think you're better use in the Hive. But I would not be doing my duty to the sister if I did not ask you to return, to meet with her, speak even. As for what ailment she wishes to cure you of, I don't even know if you're sick. I have no idea.
Upon hearing this, Osiris, you start hearing some beeping and booping behind you, and I'm shamelessly scanning you for whatever foul grossness you have.
Your scanner comes up with dehydration, malnutrition, and maybe some lice.
Lice. Yeah.
Lice. I knew it. Tyrannid infestation.
Lice in his shaven bald head.
No, in his clothes.
No,
the pilot
shaven
the
balls.
flamer turns on.
Just a thought.
I'll keep it in mind.
I appreciate that. You reach the upper hive after another 30 minutes. Guys, it's like 9 a.m. You're pushing 30 hours awake.
I need to fucking sleep. I want to sleep.
She looks to you all.
Recap it is.
She looks to you all and she says, "Is there anything you need before we send you off?"
I
A
yawn.
nap.
Oh. Sleep.
You could
I've got
rest
one eye
in the
open.
church. Not sure you want to, but
Perhaps
you
a
could.
bed and a meal. We appreciate the what you have done for us already.
Did I lose y'all?
Only for half a second.
Nope.
That's.
Yeah.
I got to trying to reconnect. So there we go. I don't know what just happened. That's weird.
I said we'd like a bed and a meal, and thank you for the things you've done.
Fair.
I said good day,
That is
sir.
what I said.
Just quickly check my router and go, I don't know what happened there. So anyway,
Did you forget to pay your internet bill?
no, definitely not.
Let's.
We can
So
hash
she-
out the XP he handed out later.
Oh, shut up. She looks to y'all and she says, "You could rest in the church. We can take you there."
Please.
But she kind of looks and she goes, "Sure." And she begins to take you through the hive, through the upper levels. As you step out to the upper levels, you see as the upper hive is vastly different from the lower hive. You can see the sky in some places. The layout of the hive itself is that you have the lower hive, the precinct fortress majoris, which creates the gap, the upper hive, and then what's called the spire. And the spire are very obviously the tip tops of the hive levels themselves. It's where the richest of the rich, the wealthiest of the wealthy, and the powerful people live. The upper hive does not go to the spire. The spire rarely comes down. But even here, from the upper hive, you have a different piece, a different view. While the hive below, the lower hive, is a toil of labor, the upper hive is the ruling class. These are the people of wealth and power. There are still some basic work that occurs up here, but it's a different level than the manufactorums of the lower hive. The adepts and the leaders of the Adeptus Terra, which is the ruling group of the Imperium, reside in the upper hive. Individuals are scurrying around on vehicles, on palanquins, carried by servitor and followed by cherubs. The display of ostentatious wealth is staggering. More than that, the merchants that you see as you walk through the upper hive are carrying fruits, meats, real food, expensive cloth, jewelry, things like that.
Now, this is my kind of place. Hey, can I get some of those? I'm going to walk over to a nearby vendor.
He motions, he says, "What would you like?" We have high-grade, tardigrade meat. We have a bit of... I'm not quite sure what this is, but it is also meat. And then we have fruits from offshore.
We'll go with a piece of fruit. You don't mind.
We have these, and he holds up an orange, and he goes, "This strange, sharply acidic one. It's very fruity, but the outside peel is very bitter.
I'll take him up on that one.
It is,
Yoink.
it is 5 solar per."
How many people we got here? Got 7 people.
Yeah, 3 sisters and the 4 of you.
I look over at the sisters. You want some?
You see the 2 sisters just kind of go, "Sure."
All right. I'm going to buy 7 of those suckers.
Okay. 35 solar. As he's buying this, the upper hive itself, while you have all this, it is still the resounding thrum of voices yelling over each other, but there is also some sound of machinery and tool. Like I said, there is some manual labor that does occur up here. It's just different than below. There are voices lifted in prayer. Every corner has a statue of a saint or a priest or the god emperor with vox hailers, either doing pre-recorded prayers or people at the feet of the statue praying out loud.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the foot. If everybody's kind of doing their own thing for a minute, I'm gonna
Sure.
go to the foot of one of these statues, and I'm gonna kind of kneel down in front of it, and I'm gonna sort of I'm gonna find one that has we call them priests in this world.
You can call them priests, yeah. Priests,
Okay.
preachers.
Walking
they use all
around.
the words.
Yeah, I'm gonna look kind of visibly distraught a little bit, kind of
Okay.
like I'm having a little bit of a breakdown.
Okay.
See if I draw anybody's attention.
So you appear to have a bit of a breakdown, and immediately a hunched man with a long white beard, bald pate, tan skin walks over and goes, "What is your problem, my child? God Emperor protects."
Yes, of course he protects. I've had a terrible couple days. I was falsely accused and stuck in a jail. Just heard terrible rumors in the jail. I'm just really shaken up.
He grabs you by the hands, and his hands are very old, very, very frail, and he's just like, "My son, you are obviously free, so you were found to be innocent in the God Emperor's light."
Yes, of course, but what shakes me is the fate of this place. The rumors I heard were quite unsettling.
And what did you hear?
I heard that Augustus Ufel was seen handling a strange relic, one that bears the marks of heresy. It makes you wonder if he has truly kept his faith to the Emperor, or is he hiding something darker? I also heard that he has been in strange circles and may have a plan to attack this place. I don't even know who this individual is, but these
I do
people
not
seem
either.
certain of it.
I've never heard of the name Augustus Jurel, but we will pray for his soul to be cleansed in the golden light of the God Emperor together.
And pray
And he
for
just-
the people of this place.
Oh, and he goes into just a litany of prayer, just spieling fast and furious.
I'll pray with them as well.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. Remember, Augustus Yorel. It's terrifying, the things I heard.
Yes. He has no idea who the hell that is.
That's
As-
okay. Just remember the name.
As Mordecai is doing this, Osiris, Dmitry, Roderick, you watch as the statue behind him, a servitor, servo skull flying. It's almost like, it's not a servo skull. It's not just a head. It's actually like, it's going to sound weird. It's a baby's torso.
Yeah.
On a
You're right.
flying
It does sound
That
weird.
makes
Yeah.
total perfect sense.
On a flying platform. It moves up, and from the mouth of the servitor, a nozzle protrudes, and a greenish film is sprayed onto the statue. And you see as the sisters look up and go, "It must have rained last night." That is... Apologies, you've not been in the upper hive, I'm sure. That is the acid-resistant unguent to protect the statues from the acid rain. And Elle kind of looks over and goes, Yes, it is, but they don't need to worry about that. What is... Oh, Mordecai has found himself enthralled by a street preacher. Interesting.
Hey, Brad.
Sir.
Depending on how long we're here, if I get an opportunity to share that info with anybody else, I'm going to do that as well.
Rose is over here starting a whisper campaign.
Yeah, roll me a report.
Respect.
Roll me
A
a
number
report.
of things. Love it.
Oh, that's going to be good. Hold on. Wait, what am I rolling?
Just rapport.
Rapport. All right. If I can figure out how to work my things here. That's a 17 under 33.
Okay. You, over the course of the next half hour, 40 minutes, as you walk your way through the upper hive towards the church where the Sisters' Hospitalier is, you will spread that rumor multiple times.
Depending on who I'm talking to, if I'm talking to church people, I'm going to emphasize that he's into dark things and he might be into some sort of chaos thing. If I'm talking to people that are more like bureaucratic side, I'm going to talk about him mishandling funds and rumors of him possibly like embezzling and things like that. I'm going to try to tailor it to the specific types of people I'm talking to.
Okay. All right.
You're like a walking algorithm.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm going to start to consume my orange while I hand an orange to Osiris, and then kind of realize He probably might not be able to peel it, but I'm not actually going to offer to help him. I'm going to see what he does with it.
Okay.
Out of morbid curiosity.
Osiris, what do you do with it?
So he's peeling it with his teeth, spitting out the rind.
I think what Carl would do in real life is bite through the rind into the orange.
Eat the whole thing.
Start eating it.
Probably.
There's proof of that.
The journey that would have taken a half hour to 40 minutes, because Mordecai has essentially started to spread this rumor.
I'm sorry. I have to.
It takes you just over an hour. You reach a large building. It looks like a church. Huge buttresses, huge spires, gilded, golden, faces of skulls everywhere. And hanging from those skulls is a banner with the fleur-de-lis and a red slash across it. Hanging from the centermost space above a stained glass motif of what you can only assume is the God Emperor, hangs a massive banner with a red fleur-de-lis. This is the Apartathal Rokarth Mordecai facility and the home of the Sisters Hospitalier. The exterior, it looks a lot like a Catholic cathedral, honestly. Think very neo-Gothic, think very Germanic structure. Huge doors sit open, and people bustle in and out and in and out. Individuals move through this space as you are brought in by Sister Elle and the others. Individuals move through in administratum robes, coupled with individuals in the robes of the Adeptus Sororitas. You see that there are different wings and wards with guest lodging, patient lodging, etc. And the sisters look to you and go, "We will put you inside one of the guest wards for now. You may rest. But the sister will like to see you before you leave. Especially you, Osiris. And after that, we'll send you off to save the hive of corrupted tardigrade meat." As this is happening, Elle is sipping tea while this other sister speaks, and Elle looks up and goes, "Yes, this is a good plan. Bring them tea. Let them rest." And you are ushered off through one of the spaces into a cell-like is going to be the word. It's a bunk room. There are 4 beds, a couple chests. The door does not lock, but there is the ability on the exterior for a lock to be engaged. And Elle just looks and punches a quick code into the keypad and goes, "The door will remain unlocked for your stay. Enjoy your rest. Although it is early morning. You should have rested. You should have rested last night."
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Each of you will find your way into one of the bunks.
The plan.
You will be able to benefit from a rest. So all of the impacts of a rest. In addition, for having completed the second part of the Children of Rokarth, freeing Osiris and getting out of the Precinct Fortress Majoris, each of you will gain 50 experience.
Yeah.
So that's what, 100 for me?
For completing your short-term ambition, you will get 50 plus the 50 for the session, yes. In addition, Osiris and Roderick, you will both need new short-term ambitions. And when we come back next time, we'll talk about what, if anything, y'all have spent experience on recently over the last few sessions. And we'll kick it off from there. So as you all lay your heads to rest, the sounds of hymnals going on around you, a very strange voice echoes through your mind and says, "By the grace of the God Emperor, frequent our supporter and sponsor of Season 2 of The Children of Rokarth, PrimetimeMagic.com!"
Oh,
That's great.
you had me going, Brad. I was gonna have to tell old boy to fuck off.
Everybody had to turn the volume up.
Where'd you go with this? Thank you so much for tuning in. We are Dead Sons Company. This has been The Tainted Hive Season 2, Children of Rokarth, please consider heading over to our website, deadsonsco.com, for access to our Daggerheart playthrough, The Tainted Hive Season 1, Tainted Hive Season 2, and other great things. And if you like what you heard from there, head on over to our Patreon. Throw us a bone, throw us a little support. You too may become a loved and beloved NPC or Mordecai's next victim. It's up to you.
Just don't let Brad name you Abernathy, for God's sake.
On
You
that
will
note,
die.
we will see you next time on The Tainted Hive.